Hey guys, my name's Jefferson Daniel, and this is my vlog for the unit instructional plan for ED 586. For this instructional unit plan, I chose the topic of the origin of American government. The reason I did that is simply because early American government interests me, um, all the way from the influence of the Old English heritage to even the ratification of the Constitution from the Bill of Rights. Um, it's just one of those things that has always intrigued me because there was a lot of stuff that went on during that time from everything that the British was trying to keep their thumb on the American leaders at the time, from the Stamp Act to everything that happened with the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere's ride, the Revolution. Everything that went on during that time was something that just it interests me, and it continues to interest me. And the thing that we have to remember about this time is, as we teach this unit, is that we have to learn from this, because not only we have to learn from it, because if we don't learn from history, we're bound to repeat mistakes that we've made in the past, but to learn where we come from, and to learn about our heritage, to learn about how we began as a country. And I think this is important for our teenagers and our students to understand, uh, because if we don't learn this, I think it's essential, because they need to know where we came from, and a lot of teenagers don't understand that. They don't know, and that's the reason I have a passion about history and the social sciences, because I think sometimes we're steered wrong just because modern society has put us in that shape, in that situation. But back to this plan, it's really designed for a 12th grade government class. So there's a lot of high end thinking in this plan, a lot of do it yourself, a lot of create this, or be creative in your thinking, your critical thinking, and and there's something for every type of learner. There's something for your creative learner, for your spatial learner, something for your kinesthetic learner, something for your verbal, for your auditory. So for people who love to write, for people who love to listen, for people who love art, for people who love music, there's a lot of things in this unit plan that lend itself to that, and that's what I want to do. I want to make these plans. I want to make our when I get into a classroom, I want to make my plans in such a way to where everybody gets something out of it. Because if you can't allow your students to get out of it what you're putting into it, then it's really not beneficial for anybody, for you or for them. And that's why I want to do that. Um, the first lesson in this plan deals with our influence of government. Then from there it goes to the realizing why we need our independence, and the things that happen leading up to our independence. And then there's a section on there that I really want them to um, understand why the Declaration of Independence was important for the people of that day. Because we look at it as just a document, but it's much more than that when you get down to it. Because there's a lot of stuff that was going on that wasn't good for anybody, especially the American people. And then it goes from there to how we began to try to establish our nation's government by establishing the Articles of Confederation, but it was really just too weak in how it was written. It didn't allow states, it allowed states too much power, but didn't allow enough power to the government. And but in other instances, it could have been good. Um, and then from there we get into uh, the constitutional conferences, and how the Constitution was actually written. But it in itself was in danger of not being passed or ratified, because all the states weren't on board. So what they had to do was come up with 10 amendments, and the first 10 amendments, which are the Bill of Rights, allowed the Constitution to be ratified, and that's what we follow under today. So I hope you enjoy this unit plan. I know I enjoyed putting it together, and will enjoy teaching it at some point in my career. And so I appreciate you listening, and hope you have a good night.